Hi, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I hope everyone's doing well. I had a big snowstorm here yesterday. We got anywhere from 6 to 10 inches, depending on the spot you pick to check. But we're good. All my family, well, my twins and my husband are outside shoveling. So while it's quiet in here, I'm going to do my video today. Okay, so I have this box. It is 3 by 3 by 1.5, and it holds a Hostess Holiday Cupcake. But you could fit a lot of different things in here. I used the Warm and Toasty stamp set, the Heartwarming Hugs paper, and the Banners Pick-a-Punch for this little label. And I also used some of the Real Red Sheer ribbon. Okay, now this is a cute little gift for office mates, schools, or you could put any gift you have that would fit in a 3 by 3 by 1.5 inch box. All right, so I started with a piece of Mossy Meadow that is 10.5 by 6. So on the 10.5 inch side, we are going to score at 1.5, 4.5, 6, and 9. Okay, and on the 6 inch side, we're going to score at 1.5 and 4.5. Okay. And I'm just going to fold and burnish. Now, tomorrow I will have, on Saturday, I will have a video up of just the few, well, not a few. I bought a bunch of paper, not so many stamp sets yet. But I'm going to show you what I did buy. And a lot of things I'm going to wait until January, right at the beginning of January to purchase, because I have to make a quota in January, and I've already reached it for this quarter, so I'll wait and do my, and a lot of things they didn't have the dies yet, so, but I wanted to show you what I purchased for now. A lot of the papers and the free, most of the free things for the celebration. All right, so this is what we want to do. Okay, we're just going to go right up both of the long sides, keep the rectangle straight, and wedge into the squares. Easy peasy. Alrighty. You just need to wedge just a little bit. It doesn't have to be huge chunks. And just remember to keep the rectangle straight and then wedge out the squares. Okay, and then flip it to the other side and do the same thing. Okay. Now we need some tear and tape, and I'm going to put 2 pieces on each of the squares that we wedged out. So the tabs, kind of, I would call them. and we're going to put one side together and then the top. Alrighty, so oops. Okay, so we're going to take this edge right here and make it straight with this edge. Okay, and the same on every other one. Okay, now we'll do this second part of the bottom. This is kind of like it is kind of a bakery box, and I thought that was perfect for the little cupcake inside. But you could put candies, you can put little gifts. I have one coming up with little things that you can put inside during the week. Okay. Alrighty. And now we'll do the top. Oops. And there's your box. Okay. And this, now we need to, well, we need to take a little finger hole, but we want to put the DSP on first. So see how that just fits nicely? It's nice and cushioned in there. It's not squeezed too tight and it's not too loose. Okay. So for the DSP, we need one piece that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And 4 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. Get my seal. Alright, and we're just going to pop these on all 4 sides of the box. You could put one on the bottom, but it'll just be down all the time, so you don't have to put your beautiful paper on there. Okay, and that's the box. Okay, and now I'm going to take some, first we have to put our little finger hole, and it's right here. Okay, and I'm just going to use whatever small hole punch you have, circle punch, and just try to eyeball it in the middle, and take a little piece, a little half moon out of there, so that it's very easy to see, and then it's easy to open it too. Okay, and I'm going to take some of the sheer real red ribbon. I'm just going to, you don't have to do this step, but a bow always finishes it off in my eyes. Okay, so I'm just going to tie a bow to keep the whole thing nicely closed. All right. So that's the bow. Now we have to do a little bit of stamping. Okay, so I stamped my polar bear image from Warm and Toasty stamp set. It's nice and dry. So now I'm just going to need 3 Stampin' Blends. The Color Lifter, the Light Balmy Blue, and the Light Mossy Meadow. Okay, so I'm going to take the Light Balmy Blue, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of a shadow around the edges of the snowman where there might be a little bit of shadow. Okay, maybe down here just a little bit right there. Okay, and then I just take my color lifter. I just do little circles on the edge of it towards the inside. And that will kind of just feather out the color a little bit so that it just blends the shadows a little. Since this is just not, I didn't really want to color in most of the bear. I just wanted to leave him white, but I wanted a little bit of something. And eventually that will just blend out the harsh edge there. Okay. And now with the light Mossy Meadow, I'm going to do his hat and his scarf. And I would make this red, but I made the background, the DSP red, so I wanted to make his hat green. And now I'm going to fussy cut him out. Okay. And now he's nice and done. Alrighty. Now, we want to do the Here's to a Cool YULE. So what I did was I took a piece of Mossy Meadow that was 5/8 inch wide, and I just, whatever scrap I had. I stamped Here's to a Cool YULE with Versamark ink, and I embossed it with, I sprinkled it with white Stampin' Emboss powder, shook it off, hit it with my heat tool, and now here's where we are. Okay, and now I'm going to take my Banner's Pick-a-Punch, and I want to use the pointy ends, so I'm just going to put that in there. Just turn it around, and I'm just going to try to get it right in the middle, and that's good. All right, so it takes off about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just gonna eyeball this, and I'm gonna want to cut it about right here. So I need my cutter. And that turns out to be about a little over 1.5. Okay. And then I'm going to take a Post-it note, and I'm going to wrap it around my little sentiment, and then I'm going to stick it back in here again. And eyeball it to the middle. And there we go. You could do only one side too if you didn't want to give yourself a hard time. This side could be flat against there. That would look really good too. So you only had to do it once with this and then cut the other side flush. Just make sure that you put your sentiment close to the edge you're going to cut. Okay, don't put it in the middle. Alrighty, so then we're going to get some liquid glue, and we're going to glue that down here. Okay. And then I'm going to put a whole bunch of dimensionals on the back of him. take some edges here. And I'll put an edge close to the end of where his paw is, one on his scarf, one on his actual head, and then I'm going to cut a sliver to go on his pom-pom because I just have a feeling that it is not going to stay straight unless I have it right on that pom-pom. It doesn't have to be this small, but I'm just going to put it right on there. And mini dimensionals would be helpful too. Okay. All right, and then I'm just going to pull all my other dimensional backs off. And we're just going to place him right on. His little skate will touch onto the dimensional of the cinnamon a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm going to get some of my Holiday Rhinestone Basic jewels. And I'm going to put some up here to kind of balance it out a little bit. There we go. And then for the final touch, I am going to take my Wink of Stella and go wild. I'm going to put it on his pom-pom, on the brim of his hat, and on his skates. Okay. And you know what? Maybe I will take... I'm going to get some of my iridescent rhinestones. Like the ones that are kind of like greenish too. And I'm going to put some of them. I'm going to put one on his scarf. Okay. Going right on his scarf. Maybe one up here on his hat. And maybe one loose down there. Okay? Just a little extra. It's almost Christmas. Let's make everything glittery and shiny. I cannot say glittery today. Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I know that your time is precious this time of year. I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the like button if you liked my project today. And if you need any supplies from Stampin' Up, I could use the business. I'm a new demonstrator this year in March. And my address is right at the top of the screen. I will see you next time. Bye.